And we are rolling on part 2 of our extemporaneous speeches on November 14th, 2017, where it is still a beautiful sunny day in Los Angeles, as it usually is. Eat your heart out, world. We're about to hear from Mitchell, who's going to explore the question, should the U.S. count on China to contain North Korea? I repeat, should the U.S. count on China to contain North Korea? Who's timing?
I got it, man. Hi guys, I'm Mitchell.
Hi, Mitchell.
I am very disappointed in China. They do nothing for us with North Korea. Just talk. China could easily solve this problem. President Donald Trump, July 2017. As tensions between the United States and China increase, as tensions between the United States and North Korea increase with each and every day, the rest of the world is left to wonder. What will result of North Korea's nuclear stockpiling? Is World War III on the rise? According to President Trump, all of our questions can easily be answered by China. So, today I want to answer the question, should the United States count on China to solve our problems in the East? Should we count on China to contain North Korea? Well, my answer is no. And there are 3 reasons behind my stance. First, China and North Korea have an extensive history together. Second, China is currently unwilling to contain North Korea. And third, even if China were willing to contain North Korea, there's really not much they can do about it. North Korea is too independent. So, realize that this topic is important to everyone in this room and in the world. Because if World War III were to occur, the nuclear one, well, nobody in the world would be left unscathed. Some of us might get drafted, and since we live in Los Angeles, a target city, we might just get blown up by a nuke. So, the first reason why the United States should not count on China to contain North Korea is that China and North Korea have a very extensive history together. According to a September 17, 2017 report done by the Council on Foreign Relations, China has been North Korea's ally since its inception. China and North Korea have had a treaty based on friendship, cooperation, mutual military assistance since 1961. China is obligated to help North Korea, not contain them. In addition to this, China and North Korea have been major trading partners since North Korea's inception, and China would not want to give up this relationship so easily. Second reason why US should not count on China to contain North Korea is that China's main agenda for the Korean Peninsula doesn't involve containing North Korea. China's ambassador to the United States has stated over and over again that all China wants for the Korean Peninsula is whatever results in peace, prosperity, and stability. China won't take any violent actions towards North Korea. And so, if they're not going to take violent action towards North Korea, what are they and what have they been doing to try and contain North Korea? They've been using economic sanctions, but how effective are these sanctions? According to a September 6, 2017 article by the New York Times, these sanctions really do nothing, and oftentimes have the opposite effect, causing North Korea to become even more belligerent and more provocative in their attacks. The third reason why the United States should not count on China to contain North Korea is that even if it was in China's agenda to contain North Korea, they still wouldn't be able to do anything. According to an August 8, 2017 report done by the Brookings Institute, even though China accounts for 90% of North Korea's foreign trade, a complete halt on all Chinese trade and relations with North Korea still would not be enough to cripple North Korea to the point of not being able to launch a nuclear attack. And China recognizes this. Chinese government has stated over and over again that the amount of power and influence that they have over North Korea is limited. Also, North Korea's nuclear programs have been built and are run almost entirely independent of China. In summary, I have shown you 3 reasons why I believe the United States should not count on China to contain North Korea. First, China and North Korea have a very extensive history together. Second, China's agenda doesn't include containing North Korea. And third, even if China wanted to contain North Korea, there's not much they could do about it. There should be no doubt in this room that the United States should not count on China to contain North Korea. So the next time Trump or Western media suggests that we should look to China to solve all of our problems, President Trump or Western media, maybe we should keep in mind that there's a different solution.
Thank you. What was the time? 4:55. In the rear, what did you like?
Steve.
Hi, Steve.
Hi, Steve.
I like the fact that your points were very straightforward in answering the question, and I thought you touched on different aspects of why China is not reliable to contain North Korea.
Hi, everyone. I'm Phil.
Hi, Philip.
I thought you did a really good job, especially. But I think like the only biggest thing was I didn't see you like moving around.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
But everything else like really good. So.
Yeah. Try wearing a darker shirt next time, Mitchell.
Alright.
You don't really contrast much with the white background. Mitchell, I liked your speech. I thought it was right on track with you. You could have easily not answered the question. You could have been easily in the ballpark. But the question asks you, should we count on China? And you gave an emphatic no. And you gave us reasons why we shouldn't count on North Korea. Although, you know, it appears we kind of are. And maybe it's a fool's errand that we are. You know, I just saw a report where China says, yeah, we're stopping our imports, and a reporter slipped the camera over that bridge, you know, and just constant Chinese trucks going over the bridge to North Korea with imports, you know, and munitions and food and, you know, every thing you can think of. So, you know, they say one thing and do another, and it's sort of a sad. There's a lot of reasons why we can't count on China to contain North Korea. I think the other thing you weren't asked to answer, but people are interested in hearing you talk about, or people talk about, is, well, if we can't count on China, what are we supposed to do? And how are we going to contain, or can we contain? Or should we just pack it up and say what the heck and live with a nuclearized North Korea? In any case, let me go through your speech and talk about some of the micro issues. Your introduction, thank you for quickly adding, I know that you didn't write it in, but you referred to him as Trump, and then you remembered to refer to our president as President Trump, even though you slipped at the end. Yeah. Yes. And July, what month is this? August, September, October, November, 4 months ago. A lot has changed since then. He's been in China. He's their best buddy now. So I'm a little skeptical of your quotes there. But in any case, yeah, I think that's what people are thinking. That's what people are thinking is take your hands out of your pocket. I think that's what they think is, you know, with it remilitarization of Japan and, you know, the all the tension with the islands and all kinds of things going on over there that it's just a hotbed of problems, and there's all kinds of chances that World War III could break out, not just from North Korea. Yeah, and President Trump believed China could easily contain North Korea. Yeah, and maybe he does, and maybe he doesn't. But it looks, he appears to believe. He keeps saying they could do it, they could do it, they could do it, and I'm not so sure, and you're not so sure. And you made a good case for his. He shouldn't be so sure, right? You stated the question and worked it in nicely. You gave an emphatic no. Do it more with your voice. Have a more dynamic delivery, Mitchell, so you have more, fill the room with more energy. Their history together, your against China's interest, and North Korea is capable of sustaining themselves. I was not really persuaded by your third point, but I quibble. Your significant statement played well to this audience. The draft, LA will get nuked for sure. Yeah. On your first argument, yes. This obligation to come to their military aid, gosh, I know you quoted the Council on Foreign Relations in 2017, but I'm not sure how much in practice that's going to happen, but you quoted it, so it was there, and your evidence was there, so I have to say, in absence of any contrary evidence, that's what's going to stand. They want to remain trading partners? Maybe. On your second one, the New York Times quote I thought was good. And your third argument was very good. It's just that when you started to walk, you walked late, and then you didn't get over there to work this side of the room well enough. And so work on your walking. Your summary was good, your conclusion, your tieback wall. Fine, let's talk about your Kanai. Have a more specific and significant statement for the audience. Don't speak too quickly. Make longer eye contact with everyone. Cite more evidence completely when speaking. How'd it go?
I went pretty well.
Yeah.
What was my first one? I forgot.
Specific statement.
Oh yeah, no, I definitely.
Statement, yeah.
Because last time mine was definitely way too vague. So this
Yeah,
one was more
a lot of, it was very specific this time with the draft and the Los Angeles. That really spoke to these people, so that was good. Yeah. How did you feel? Did you feel you were making 5 seconds of quality eye contact with people here?
Yeah, I definitely thought a lot more about the eye contact. Because personally, it's something I have to think about. Because last time I was making really quick eye contact with everyone.
Yeah.
And that seemed pretty natural, but just staring at people for 5 seconds while I'm talking, just kind of.
Yeah.
So I just had to keep that in mind, and then I figured to walk. So
it is a little longer than you may think is normal, but it is a good way to make your speech sticky and to connect with it. I would say you had, just to close out on that note, you had a good, simple thesis. You had credible evidence. You were pretty credible. The only suggestion to make the speech a little more sticky was to have a better emotional connection with the topic and your subject and the audience. Talking about the possible annihilation of the human race. with this nuclear annihilation. It's not this isn't just dropping a little hand grenade on, Ackerman Union, This is the real deal. And so some more felt sensing passion from you would have made the speech a little stickier and given it a little better impact. But you had good credibility. There was good credibility here. And I don't think you could have simplified your message any better. I thought you were down to the core simplicity of this topic. So, good job.
Awesome. Thank
Mitchell. Thank you. Okay. Who do we want to hear next? Any volunteers? Okay, well, I guess since I seem to be picking on you, we'll hear from Daniel. Better be good. Better be great. Okay. Oh, she's just gonna use a card? No, no card. No card. Okay. Oh, this ought to be good. Yeah, hands out of your pocket. Yeah, good. Mm-hmm. Okay, Daniel stands before you, managing the tension, communicating respect, non-verbally, finding friendly eyes near the front and the center. He's going to speak on the question, what strategies do the Democrats need to win the 2018 midterm elections? The midterm elections win by the Democrats. Rock and roll, sir.
So after losing the 2016 presidential election, Democrats really found themselves at a crossroads. They still and are united against their opposition, President Trump and Republicans, but they still are not united as to what they should do or what they should stand for.
Good.
They were asking themselves, like, are we still the party of Hillary Clinton, or should we move over the Bernie Sanders wing? And in reality, they're asking the same question I want to answer today. What strategies do the Democrats need to use to win the 2018 midterm elections?
Good.
And this is a really, really important question, because if you think about it, this question has electoral implications and also has constitutional implications. Republicans currently control both legislative chambers in 32 states. It takes 34 to call a constitutional convention, and Republicans are on the verge of doing so. And they've also been thinking about doing so. According to an LA Times article in 2017, back in September, 19 GOP lawmakers met over 4 days planning out on how to run a constitutional convention. So if Democrats want to prevent the worst case scenario, they need to win the midterm elections. And to win the midterm elections, they need to run 3 strategies. First strategy is pretty basic. Democrats need to run candidates that represent their values and interests of their constituents. And according to a Gallup poll in 2015, the American public thinks that their own representatives favor special interests rather than their own interests, 47 to 43%. Translation, the American public doesn't think their representative gives a shit about them. So if Democrats really want to win, they have to run candidates that represent the values and interests. And if you think about it, I mean, most people just go in the box and vote D, R, straight down the line. And to have a candidate that actually looks like they care about you would be a bonus. And so on to my second strategy. Democrats need to have a credible platform to address the country's problems. Now, why so? Well, Democratic strategist Niels Farruko says this best. There's no disagreement about what we Democrats are against. The only disagreement is what we're for. And furthermore, in that Time magazine article back in 2017, it says that if you dig deeper, Democrats are split all over the place on issues like free trade, healthcare, Wall Street. They even disagree over the political wisdom of doing deals with Trump. And if you really think about it, if you have a local election where there's like 20 different Democrats running and they can't agree on what they should do, then they all run the risk of splitting votes for the Democrats. So that's not a good thing. And on to my third strategy. Democrats need to win independent voters and get out the vote, period. Independent voters are the most important thing to win an election. According to Gallup poll data in 2015, Democrats and Republicans don't make up the majority of voters in America. Independents do at 42%. And among those independents, Democrats already have an advantage. 48% of independents, according to Pew Research data in 2016, lean Democratic, and compared to just 39% for Republicans. And regarding voter turnout, words from Professor Michael McDonald back in 2004 still hold true today. He's from the Brookings Institute. The conventional wisdom holds that higher turnout favors Democrats for two reasons. First, the percentage of registered voters in Democratic-leaning groups is lower than among Republican constituents. Second, Democrats have a better record of getting voters out on election day. So if you think about it, if people who would vote Democrat don't show up, Democrats ain't going to win. And so in conclusion, there are three strategies Democrats need to use to win the 2018 midterm elections. Number one, run candidates that actually represent the values and interests of their constituents. Number two, develop a credible plan and national platform to address the country's problems. And number three, get out the vote and win independent voters, which go hand in hand. And now, one of those strategies is fundamentally more important than the others, and I hinted at it in the beginning. Voters already know who the Democrats are against, President Trump and Republicans. It's not fake news, it's pretty damn obvious. What Democrats don't know is what a Democrat is and what they stand for. So if Democrats really want to win the 2018 midterm elections, they need to not be focused on being united against Republicans, they need to be focused on being united within themselves.
Thank you, Daniel. What was the time? 4:08. What'd you like about Daniel's speech? Next person. Thank you for waiting respectfully at the door. You missed your friend's speech. Yeah.
I already heard it.
100 times, huh?
I liked.
Name?
Elise. My name is Elise.
Hi, Elise.
I liked how you had good inflection and your information was really good, and I liked how within each section, each of your 3 points, you wrapped it up and it helped me follow that. So.
Thank you, Elise. Improvement.
I'm Jason.
Hi, Jason.
I also thought you did great. I think the one thing I would think about for next time is you're good at keeping your head up, but sometimes I think when you're thinking, your eyes are sort of not looking up. So just being more aware of if you could just channel while you're thinking about what you want to say, just keep your eyes on us instead of on the ground or
Or on your piece of paper that you're holding in your hand. Daniel, this is your better speech. You were on point to your topic, finally. Although you had a full minute that you could have slowed down and or put more information in here. Yes, I thought your analysis was perfect in the sense of it's not enough to be against President Trump. That's not going to win it. They've got to say what they're for. I'm not sure that the two choices are Hillary Clinton or Bernie Sanders, but I don't know what the choices are for the Democrats. I don't know or see any other candidates out there. Maybe you could enlighten us, or what issues are out there. One thing, just as an overarching issue that I was hoping you would mention, but maybe you wrote your speech long before their big whoop-ah victories in Virginia, and to show that the Virginia, although I don't think it can be replicated everywhere, is a good strategy for Virginia. Maybe you could have talked about that a little bit. In any case, you gave 3 strategies. And you said, stop representing special interests and represent the interest of the constituents. Sounds great. What are they? We don't know. You didn't say. You didn't specify, so that's a place you could have elaborated a little bit more. On your second strategy, a credible plan and national platform to address the country's problems, I agree with you. And then independent voters and getting out the vote on the third strategy. You know, the one of my students got out the vote for President Obama, and when Hillary was the nominee, he sat on his hands. He couldn't stomach working for her. And you know, the voter turnout for Hillary, especially among the black constituents, the traditional Democratic go-to people, was dismal and probably crucial. Yeah. And so whether the Democrats can continue to take the blacks or the African American or whatever the politically correct term you use now for, you know, various interest groups for granted anymore is an open question. Your summary, conclusion, and tieback were all fine. I just wanted a little more meat on the bone, and no card next time, Daniel. Thank you. We have time for one more?
No.
Okay, well, let's review then before we split. Big point. I want to hear from everyone with an email saying policy topic COM 103. Policy topic proposal COM 103. Okay, and it should be short and simple. It should have a agent of action, and it should be simple. It should not be long and convoluted. Yeah. And you can turn to any number of places, to any choice. I encourage you to choose a topic that you care passionately about, so you'll be interested when you research it, and you will do some good work on it. Yeah.
Is the structure of it
Name, stand up.
I'm Jason.
Hi, Jason.
Is the structure of it going to be? I know online there's some like
Models.
models.
Yeah.
So, do you want us to follow those in the fact that they're more just like outlines versus like an actual essay?
Yeah, I want you to follow the models as they're outlined. I don't want long essay,
Okay.
but I do want you. The thing about the things that are online that I don't want you to follow is I want you to use the Chicago style.
Okay.
I want you to use very recent evidence.
Okay.
And I'm going to be looking for stuff like that. Your ARE, you have good assertions that are succinct, that your evidence matches your assertions, that you have good support for your assertions,
Okay.
right? Stuff like that. That your policy that you propose has a mandate and a means. Standard stuff. I think. Was there not in the syllabus a instruction sheet for the policy?
Yeah,
She said
there is.
yeah.
It just
Okay.
it has like the.
It's vague or
It's-
wrong or
Yeah, it just like says.
contradictory or what?
It's not contradictory. It just like has like a list of like 10 questions to answer.
Yeah.
So I
okay.
wasn't sure if we should like just use that to answer those questions, or if we should make it more like an outline.
Well, that's what the
Okay.
models do,
Okay.
and then you take those questions are your big head,
Right.
and then you fill in your evidence and your answers from
Okay.
answering those questions. But what I'm after is that you learn to universalize those questions, and you learn that those apply to any public policy controversy. Any public policy question you're asked to address in your lives, you'll be asked to say, hey, what's the problem? Is it a big problem? Why do we have the problem? And what's the solution? Those are just basic things that every public policy analyst must answer. And what are your advantages? What are your disadvantages? What are the costs? Will it work? Now, these are stock issues that I want you to be able to work with and play with, and evidence. Okay? So one last review, so just so it's clear in my mind so I can let the tournament director know. So on Friday, we have Insia and Armin going for round 1, right? And Sunday, probably. Well, give me is it 90, 70, 50, 40, 30?
45.
55?
85.
80, oh, that's good. That's cool.
Right.
Okay, so
Like a 90.
Sunday, 90, okay, cool. So Sunday,
Double
you're
odds.
coming by, you'll get there by 9,
Yes.
and I'll tell you where it is. There's a little parking lot that, don't park in the faculty lot, but there's a little lot just behind it you can park in. It's a good parking spot. And it's in Bauer Hall, but that's all in the little invite that's there. But if you put he has the address on the invite, so if you put it in Waze, it will take you right to the door of the place. Okay?
I might come Sunday as well.
And you are?
Pauline.
And how are you getting there?
I'm driving, but not from here.
Okay. And what's your phone number, Pauline?
626.
666?
626.
Ah, you're the devil. Okay, 666.
433.
433.
3313.
3313?
Yes.
And you're Sunday morning only.
Yeah.
Sunday a.m.
Yeah. So how do we like to?
Little bathroom.
You say noon?
We're
Might just go.
at
I'll let you go.
Come for a nice, like, the noon is the last round of the
No,
day.
ask about, because I'm one of the.
Come for the 9:30. Yeah.
Hello. I'm just wondering about our topic. So, since I emailed you, should I wait for you to email me back before I start learning?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, sounds
I just
good.
want to make sure.
Thank you.
If Chelsea goes, I'm going to on Sunday.
Kelsey,
Yeah.
does she have room for you?
Yeah, I can catch her.
Okay, good. Okay. You're a yes.
Yeah,
And Sumana's a yes.
yeah, I think.
And Armand is going Friday and Sunday. And he's bringing Insia only.
Bye, Professor.
Thank you. Be well. Nice to see you. Bye.
Hey, quick question. Is
Yeah.
103B just this class?
Yeah,
Really?
yeah.
There's no difference?
Well, it's new topics.
Oh, new topics.
And I'll give you a different text to use than the sticky text. But yeah, different topic. Why? You think anything in round 3B?
Yep.
Yeah, me too.
Go for it.
Sweet.
I can give you independent research to do too, so for the debate team as part of your in place of stuff. So that's
Okay, cool.
That sounds
something you
good.
could consider. Okay, good. All right.
See you Thursday.
See you next.
What time is it? Oh, I gotta get out of here. Bye. Okay, this is the end of part 2.